Love for me is the best thing about our love that I love so much is our love for the Lord. It's in a manner that is ever changing for me in a way that it's the first person that's ever looked at Christ the same way I have. And so that love is cherished to me. That's who I love first, and she's now second, and it's a beautiful thing.
Finding someone who isn't just exactly what you wanted, but what you needed. And so, he and I are very different in many ways, but my strengths are his weaknesses and his strengths are my weaknesses. And together we are a new creation and a new being, and much better and more complete as a couple than we are separately. So love is, I think, coming together with somebody and being the best versions of yourself with them, and then doing the most good with them. A couple of years ago, we were Facebook mutual friends of friends. We started a conversation. He reached out a couple of times like, hey, did you get to the village okay? Or I heard you were sick. He made a couple of mentions of Nepal, like, hey, is there rafting in Nepal? And anyway, eventually those conversations picked up. September, for the first time, I sent a message to him, and about 9 hours later, we were still talking, and we decided we were a couple. That was 1 year ago, and September 21st, that was our 1 year anniversary of that. We got married in the US this year. And then in November, he flew to Nepal to meet me for the first time, because I said, we need to be face to face, that it needs to be in Nepal, because if Nepal is not your thing, you're not my guy.
जीवन ममा ईशुबाट.
And so he flew to Nepal on November 15th, a year ago today. And we met in the airport, and there was not a minute of awkwardness. And from that point on, we knew that we were going to get married. And so he proposed in Lisbon, Portugal in February, and we got married for the first time in September in Idaho, the second time today here in Nepal.
The thing coming to Nepal for me was the best part in recognizing that I had been looking to do this in a different part of the world. And as soon as I got to the village, I knew I felt like I was home.
So we've been asked why we decided to do kind of a fusion wedding, right? Because we are obviously foreigners, and we did a Christian wedding because we're Christian, but we also dressed in the Nepali style, and we had the Nepali feast up in the village.
Do our faith, and culturally, we believe both can exist, where we can culturally still carry on traditions of whatever culture we're in, and still have a Christian faith.
And so we wanted to honor the culture and do things in a way that the people would enjoy and would recognize. But we also need to be true to our Christian faith, so we wanted to have a Christian wedding as well. We wanted that to speak to people, to let people know what it is that we value and why we feel like we're together, who brought us together. We wanted to acknowledge that and let people know that. And we wanted to show that culture and religion and people don't have to be so separate, right? I mean, who you believe in doesn't mean, it doesn't mean because I believe in Jesus doesn't mean I can't wear a beautiful dress, a jili-mili, rangi-changi, Nepali outfit. I want to be beautiful like them. I think Nepali brides are some of the most beautiful people on the planet.
This is where I feel at home.
Created by God, and a beautiful picture of his love for each one of us.
If two lie down together, they will keep warm.
It is because of the forgiveness of Jesus Christ that we are here today. Once you have forgiven one another, you are never to bring it up again.
I vow to love you with the love rooted in Christ.
Kind and anchored in Christ.
I promise to lead with humility.
I promise to walk with you in faith.
You are my greatest gift for liturgy and my greatest responsibility.
And to always point you back to the God that joined us together. I'm 57 years old, and it is my first wedding, so.
And I'm
I feel
54.
blessed. And it's his last wedding.
येशू भन्नु हुन्छ मलाई म मार हो तिमी सधैँ येशू भन्नु हुन्छ मलाई म मार हो तिमी सधैँ.
She would get up in the morning and get ready for work. I was off work. When I woke up, we had talked 4 or 5 hours. So we were spending about 9 hours a day, most days,
Some days.
getting to know each other and not be face to face, but we, through technology, were face to face. So.
We just had this small screen and we were looking at each other in this small screen, and it was all of these like intense conversations. We laid out all of our things, good and bad, and said, this is who I am. If you like it, okay, let's consider moving forward. If you don't, this is who I am and I'm not your person.
It was a really cool way to have a long distance relationship.
This is my solemn vow, Kienan, and my deepest joy, to be yours until death parts us.